beautifuls, this is Aromie here, and welcome back to Mystic Destinies. Serendipity of Aeons. I was like, Mystic what? I caught myself this time. Anyway, we are here with Grandpa. I don't know his name. I think they told us his name. I think. And seriously, 3 minutes early is late. What a hard ass. Tatsuya makes a faint motion towards me, and Grandpa Yukimura's eyes fall on me. I cope, feeling the strength of those piercing blue eyes boring into me as he examines me. I notice that I can feel an intensity in the air. This must be his aura. Maybe it's even his magic. I've never felt anything like this before. This is Michiko Shinamura. He is my real last name? I swallow again when I realize that this man probably thinks of me as an enemy too. I don't want to be his enemy. Why are you trying to make me look bad, Tatsuya? She's my partner, the one Mother told you about. Father and Mother both told me to take care of her today, since she's not feeling well after a power outburst. Tatsuya's voice wavers a bit at this last part, but I'm too busy enduring his grandfather's harsh gaze. Grandpa Yukimura finally gives one swift nod before finally glancing at Tatsuya. Ugh! Finally! I felt like I was going to collapse. You're supposed to be helping Shinamura. Yes. Why is it that she suffered a loss of control then? I wasn't doing my job well enough. In a very small voice, Tatsuya adds. In fact, I caused it. Grandpa Yukimura doesn't say anything, but I know from his first-hand experience that his glare is probably making Tatsuya want to melt into the ground. Tatsuya doesn't even meet his eyes. After a moment, Grandpa Yukimura turns around and walks off. I exhale, sagging from the tension in the air and the breath I didn't know I was holding. Tatsuya seems to relax as well. He begins to walk off too, but I grab his shoulder. What is it? Oh, I forgot to introduce you. It's already obvious, but that was my grandfather. Oh, Daichi. That's his name. Daichi Yukimura. No, it's not that. It's... what should I do? Where should I go so I won't be in the way? Just stand off to the side and try not to get hit by anything. Hit by anything? Tatsuya nods and shakes off my hand, left alone amidst all the motion. Technically, we could leave right now. He could have just left us at a cafe or something. Or we could have just went home. But then his mom would probably ask if Grandpa saw me, so never mind. I decide to retreat to the furthest corner away from the group as possible. I wonder what he helps with around here anyway. I look at the group of people lining up with swords, sheathed at their sides. Are some of these people children? If you guys hear scratching again, remember it's Rava. Sees her reflection. That's so great. The children in question all have blue hair though, and I realize they must be half dragons too. The other people are adults and seem normal enough without any blue hair. But who knows? Still, it's strange they put children and adults together. While I'm observing the group, they line up and begin a series of bowing motions. Most noticeably, they bow first to a picture of a beautiful but stern-looking woman behind Daichi that even he bows to. I can't help but wonder who she is. I'm assuming his wife. While they continue their pre-practice rituals, I suddenly notice that Tatsuya is nowhere to be found. I search the rows of gi-clad men, women, and children before finding one man that stands out. I breathe out and whisper. Whoa! Is that Tatsuya? Yo, I didn't know he had like muscles for a man. Holy jeez. You can be my Jack Frost, Tatsuya. No, it couldn't be. But there's no other answer for it. This young man undoubtedly looks like Tatsuya. Does he have pants? Or is it really low rise? Hello? Hello? This young man undoubtedly looks like Tatsuya, and he's the only one who's dressed differently. If you could even call that being dressed. Well, there's the dragons. I'm shocked to see Tatsuya of all people clad in armor and very little else. Yeah, I guess it is a really low-rise kind of pants. Jeez, Tatsuya, who knew you were hiding that kind of body? I end up mumbling this last part out loud and quickly clasp my hands over my mouth. Okay, don't stare at him. Or, right as they finish their last rituals, Tatsuya's blue eyes meet mine. No, he's blushing too! Oh, so cute. We both quickly look away, and I'm grateful when the participants are ordered to draw their swords. I'm shocked when every single person there summons a thin sword made of ice, from the men to the children. Tatsuya immediately walks off to check each person's form and weapon before they start practicing. I see now. He's probably a teacher here. He must be good if he's been doing it for so long. Did he like just transform like how Shinji has a transformation when he has that ring? Maybe that's why he was able to help me and Emmy so much, since he's used to teaching. After Tatsuya nods to Daichi, the combatants? Shoot. Start practicing their swings. I watched them go through the motions, but my eyes occasionally drift to Tatsuya. His ears. I still can't believe how good he looks. Ugh. I grab my head and shake it. Get your head on straight, Michiko. Occasionally, Tatsuya meets my eyes and we end up looking away every time. Some time passes like this until finally the students split off into several groups. Having been spacing out, I didn't catch the reason, but when the group faces each other and draw their ice swords, I realize that they're going to spar. For the most part, the groups are matched to age and gender where possible. In Tatsuya, he seems to be facing off against a large blue-haired male that seems a lot more experienced than the rest. The two slowly come toward each other and hesitate, only while looking for the right moment. Their icy swords meet over and over again, but it seems to be in a practiced way that looks like a dance, rather than an actual battle. Still, I'm impressed by Tatsuya's speed and footwork, as he easily avoids his opponent's strikes. He doesn't just defend though, he quickly thrusts his sword at the man whenever the opportunity presents itself. However, his opponent seems to meet most of his attacks head-on without budging, and I can't tell if they're evenly matched, or if it's intentional. While the man isn't as fast as Tatsuya, they eventually begin to pick up the pace enough that I have trouble following who's winning or losing. The strike seems to be more and more powerful too, and I began to get concerned. Does seeing the power of dragons in action make you afraid? I hadn't noticed it, but Daichi snuck up beside me at some point. Or maybe snuck isn't the right word to describe it. Sneaking doesn't seem possible for someone like Daichi. I swallow and start pulling my hand through my ponytail while I try to think of how to answer. Well, they certainly are intimidating. I get the feeling that either could crush me in an instant if they wanted. But I don't feel fear around Tatsuya. He's such a calm, precise person. He doesn't do things without thinking them through first. Daichi what? Daichi barks a laugh. Oh, he's smiling somewhat. Is that so? Realizing what I've just said, I look away. I must sound like an idiot telling him about his grandson. He's known him for 21 years and I've only known him for a few weeks. You should always be on your guard around a dragon. It seems that Tatsuya hasn't taught you much about us. We lose control over our emotions and our true forms. It's something we have to gain as we get older and become more experienced. The younger a dragon is, the more unpredictably violent they are. Even as we speak, Tatsuya is no doubt losing the small amount of control he has learned up to this point. I glance at the heated sparring match between Tatsuya and his opponent. Are we not supposed to be worried about that? Just how bad can this get? I see. I didn't know that. I don't know anything about dragons much. Tatsuya doesn't tell me anything more than what I need to know. He's always been a quiet boy, but I think his way of thinking is far more efficient than mine. Daichi laughs again. My wife says I've rambled too much, but I've got 70 years of experience, so why not talk about it? 70? 70? He doesn't look more than 50. So I take it you've never heard the story of the Dragon Mage War then? I shake my head, bewildered at the idea that there was some war ordinary humans had no idea about. If you're going to be in contact with dragons, you should know. 93 years ago. Wait, hold on, let me do math. He's still talking. 93 minus 70. He was 23 when this happened. 93 years ago, a fierce and ruthless leader rose to the top of the Ryu clan. She struck fear into the hearts and minds of her enemies to fear her one by one. She was a powerful ice dragon warrior, one of the most respected there ever was. She sought to reopen the supernatural world to humans and to stop the hate. Oh, is that who they're worshipping? That was not his wife. And attacks against dragons and supernaturals that still happened back then. She reasoned that dragons should be ruling over those who are weaker than us, and that we should not cower in fear before humans. She was violent and aggressive, subjugating entire villages and putting them under Ryu control, and killing any who's opposed her. Eventually, she caught the attention of the Mage Society, who saw themselves as protectors of their powerless, but equally human brethren. Daichi pauses a sigh. Oh, it's over baby. I glance at Tatsuya and see that he's safely finished his match against his sparring partner. Both are breathing heavily and sweating, but only the man is on the floor. It's a long, bitterly sad story of death and struggling. Maybe Tatsuya can tell you the rest sometime. But that woman, the one who caused so much pain and suffering and caused dragons that were still feared by mages today. She was my grandmother. Oh! Nakano Yukamura, and she was a tough lady, but she loved me with everything she had. Even a person like that did such terrible things. And I'm still proud to be her grandson. Proud? And she laughs and slaps me on the back. It seemed light, but it seriously stings. I'm proud of the woman she was, but I don't harbor any kind of grand desires to start a crusade. I just want to drink beer and get old with my beautiful wife, Anda. Well, that's a nice dream. Daichi laughs again. I get ready to brace myself for another slap, but his expression suddenly turns serious. You seem like a decent enough girl, so I'll tell you this much. If you're messing about with Katsu, it's not going to lead to anything good. He's known for throwing girls away like yesterday's trash. He's also the one responsible for handedly wrecking the clan of my grandmother gave everything to save. I won't have any mercy on him or anyone else who threatens the Ryu clan. It isn't. I'm not. Tatsuya walks up to us, still covered in sparkling beads of sweat. Grandfather, everyone's done with their water break. Good. How was Kuruda today? He gave me some trouble, but it wasn't a problem. Daichi laughs and slaps Tatsuya on the back much harder than me, but Tatsuya barely winces. Good then, I'll send the students for some solo practice time. You can give your girl here some training in the meantime. What? But she's not ready for that. She gives both me and Tatsuya a single shove that sends us stumbling over the practice floor. I nearly fall, but Tatsuya steadies my arm. We look back at Daichi in confusion. Isn't it your job to make her ready? Wow, true though. I stand up straight and realize that all the students' eyes are on the two of us. I look desperately at Tatsuya. He's not really going to attack me, right? I won't do it, grandfather. Is that right? Then, can you protect her from me? Wait! Daichi takes what I assume is a battle stance and it back away slowly. This is just like what happened with Professor Kazama all over again. I scan the room for a quick exit, but Tatsuya steps in front of me. Don't hurt her. Tatsuya? What? I breathe a sigh of relief and try to calm myself down, but then Tatsuya dissolves his ice blade. What are you? He spins around to face me in his own battle stance. Icy claws up. Fine, I'll spar with her myself. You can't! I can't! Get ready! Before I can register what's happening, Tatsuya is on me in a flash. I'm pushed back against the wall hard enough that it hurts. He has one arm pressed against my midsection and an icy claw at my throat, just a hair away from touching it. He practically snarls at me. You have teeth going on right now? Sharp teeth? What are you? Oh, dragon, idiot. I'm such an idiot. You had to defend yourself. I slowly shake my head. How? Even I knew how. I can't. Even if I knew how. With an English grunt, Tatsuya leaps away from me and I slide down to the ground. I look up at Tatsuya, breathing hard. He stares at me and somewhat behind those cold eyes tells me he won't let me off easy this time. He readies himself, pulling his body into a fighting stance. Terror clutches me in its grasp. My power is fire, isn't it? Let's burn his ice crap away. I have to do something. Fight back. With a growl, Tatsuya throws himself at me and chill goes through my entire body. I shut my eyes tightly and I wanted to see what happens next. I feel something like a shockwave go through me, but strangely it doesn't hurt. An odd noise like ice scraping against ice causes me to finally open my eyes. I see that Tatsuya's face is right in front of mine. He's crouching, looking at me coweringly pitiful on the floor. You did it! Did what? I quickly realized that I'm actually looking at Tatsuya through a slightly distorted filter. A filter that's a floating sheet of ice. Whoa! I back up from the ice and stand up. Tatsuya gives an unexpected— Whoa, is the floor like completely wet? Because we're always like fighting with ice around here. Tatsuya gives an unexpected chuckle, and I think it's the first time I've heard anything like it from him. The floating ice shield evaporates in midair, and Tatsuya holds out a hand. Claw? To me? I take it despite how cold it is, and he wraps an arm around me. Tatsuya turns us toward Daichi, and I don't miss a triumphant look on his face. Or the surprised look on all the students who are supposed to be practicing. I knew you had power in you. I was curious to see what you pull out, but a nice bear. Very nice. Tatsuya, do a good job of training this one. Teach her how the Yukimuras handle ice, and she'll make an excellent partner. Oh, he's blushing. Cute. And she turns on his heel and declares the practice time is over, except for those who weren't focusing on doing their solo exercises and watching us instead. They get to stay and do push-ups. Tatsuya seems to finally realize the position we're in and lets go of me. He still doesn't look at me though. I'll take you home. You did a good job today. Thanks. Though I didn't expect to get any training, I guess it worked out for the best. That's what I originally came with you to do after all. Yeah, but I'm sorry about having to do that. I wasn't going to hurt you. I would never do that. How could you do that to me? What are these choices? I understand. What do you call it then? I don't know. What do you call what you were trying to do then? I just knew grandfather wouldn't hold back. He would try and hurt you to trigger your powers, so I did it myself. You're both crazy. I didn't do anything to deserve that. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the way my family is, for the way I am. I know it must be difficult for you, and I'm sorry. Just don't do it again. You scared me. Yeah, sorry. An awkward silence fills upon us as I feel bad for the way I reacted. Okay, should that not be the choice? I understand. Oh, thanks. I wasn't sure, but you're just trying to trigger me into fighting, right? So your grandfather will be satisfied. It ended up being very effective. So no worries. Yeah, I guess, but still, I'm sorry if I hurt you at all. I'll be alright. I'm tougher than that. Although I've tried to put on a brave face to make Tatsuya feel better, inside I'm screaming with delight at what he said. That he actually really and truly cares about me. No, I like that option better. Let's go with that. It did hurt, but if I say that, it would just feel worse. Despite the fact nothing turned out like I thought it would, I still feel better. I ended up going home that day with my heart feeling a lot lighter than it did the day before. But Tatsuya's mystery morning visit with Haruna never quite leaves my mind. Chapter 10, First Snow. There's only 4 chapters left. Am I getting the bad ending? It's been 2 days since that day at the dojo. It's supposed to be my first day of work today, and surprisingly, I don't feel all that nervous. Since we both have work, after the business club meeting was over, we got changed and walked to Vereda's together. I look at Tatsuya, who's walking right next to me, out of the corner of my eye. Maybe it's because I know he'll be there that I'm less nervous than I normally would be. Question mark. I wonder what it'll be like to work together. I'm kind of excited. But besides grabbing a bite to eat on the way, we haven't said much to each other. Tatsuya and I seem to both be at loss for what to say. Everything still feels pretty awkward after that night. Suddenly I notice a figure in the distance walking towards us. Something about the person strikes me as familiar, but with the distance between us, I can't quite make out who it is. Is it Haruna again? Tatsuya stops all of a sudden and I almost walk away without him before I realize that he isn't walking next to me anymore. I stop too and look back to him. Yukamura, is something wrong? His eyes are focused entirely on the figure in the distance. Wait here. He doesn't even glance at me as he jogs off to meet the person. Is it someone he recognized? How can he even see from this distance? I squint, trying to get a better look. It's Haruna. Looky! That's Haruna. I fight back the urge to sigh. Of course it's Haruna. I stand awkwardly in place, watching. Why am I waiting? Go to work! Watching them interact from afar. It's either go to work or have a heartbreak. Either way, it's both a heartbreak. Whatever it is they might be talking about, I don't think I could even guess. I don't think I could guess even if I tried. I'm not at all sure what to do. Just standing here watching them makes me feel weird. Just as I'm contemplating looking away, Haruna moves. In a single step, she moves closer to Tatsuya. Nani? What is going on? To Tatsuya and wraps her arms around him, pulling him into a hug. A strange queasiness settles over me. It doesn't stop even when Haruna lets him go and walks away with a little bow. I didn't even push her away. He wanted that hug. I like hugs too, Tatsuya, by the way. As Haruna disappears in one of the many different twists and turns of Chao, I walk up to Tatsuya. It's not hard to notice that Tatsuya is standing rather stiffly compared to the way he usually is. What was that about? Haruna just wanted to give me the money from Carnivala staff to my mom again. I see. I'm not buying it. Just who is Haruna to you exactly? She's an old friend. Seems like she's something more. Not currently. Look at his like bored face. I try not to frown. His answers are so curt that it doesn't seem like Tatsuya is willing to offer up any more information. Still, something makes me press further. Then, how do you feel about her? Tatsuya is showing unusually unsettled composure just as glasses shifts from leg to leg. He looks somewhere over my head for a while, then sighs. His eyes fall down and meet mine. I don't really know. I was hoping for something more juicy that I don't even know. But alright. I nod. It's not the answer I was hoping for, but it's not the answer I feared the most either. There's not much else I can possibly say to him, not without making it even more awkward for both of us. With no other choice but to accept what he says, I start walking in Veretta's direction. Tatsuya follows right after me. With his quick stride, he catches up to me in mere seconds. We continue our walk in complete silence. Any semblance of my previous giddiness is now absolutely gone. Relatable. When we walk into Veretta's, we're almost immediately greeted by a smiling Galen. He seems to have been expecting us to arrive at just that moment. Aha! There you two are! Tatsuya gives him a curt nod and strides off towards the break room, leaving me behind with the boss. I force myself to tear my eyes away from him and focus on the man before me. When faced with the smiling face of my new boss, I'm made even more aware of how bummed out I feel now. Alright, Michiko, time to act professional. I look up at Galen with the best smile that I can muster. I'm ready to start work, sir. Galen? Right, he doesn't want to be called sir. Almost forgot. Having seemingly caught on my slip of the tongue, he chuckles. Well, you remember my little rule, so I'll let it slide this time. The devilish glint in his eyes leaves me wondering what might happen if I called him sir. You're going home now. I don't think it would be it would be something too awful. I am in no hurry to actually attempt to find out. Galen claps his hands together happily. Today I'll leave you in the hands of my very capable assistant manager, Shinji. I miss Shinji's route. Just as he says this, Shinji walks up to us. At least, we had some love going on in his story. Tatsuya's story, it's like nothing. It's just pure heartbreak. Shinji, will you show the ropes? Oh, I thought it was like a stop. It was actually not stopping. I look at Shinji, who gives me a curt nod. Yeah, I got this, old man. You go do... Shinji's eyes flit to me for the briefest of moments. You go do that thing. June is waiting. June? I look from Shinji to Galen in confusion. Galen sighs rather dramatically at the mention of this June. Again? He doesn't give up, does he? Galen pauses, looking very thoughtful for a moment, then he laughs. Then I shall oblige. He turns on his heel and walks away with a spring in his step, leaving me with Shinji. He is an unusual man, that's for sure. Although the exchange between them has left me thoroughly confused and more than a little curious, I don't think asking would actually get me anything. Before I can say anything, Shinji looks down at me. Let's begin then. Shinji takes me behind the counter and starts running me through everything that I could possibly need to know. And be sure to watch yourself here. The steam is incredibly hot, and you don't want to accidentally burn yourself. Shinji is showing me how to work with the coffee maker, and I do my best to memorize everything he's telling me. Shinji suddenly freezes as if he just remembered something. He should be here any minute. Better start preparing the hot sake. Hot sake? Isn't this a coffee house? Shinji laughs. It is, sure. Then why would we be serving alcohol? With a glance at the time, he starts preparing everything. Because that's what Professor K orders when he comes in every Thursday. Oh, so that's why. It doesn't really explain it exactly, but fine. Just as Shinji had predicted, the door opens and Hikaru walks into Veretta's. He weaves through the tables and takes a seat by the bar. Oh, Hikaru! Professor K! Wait, what's his last name? While he deals with that order, I set about cleaning up some of the tables. But my eyes are towards Tatsuya, who's making some coffee for one of the customers. I feel conflicted. I want to go talk to him and not at the same time. Maybe I should try talking to him after all. Tatsuya looks up while working and our eyes meet. This is so awkward. I quickly look away and focus on scrubbing the table clean. No, definitely not going to talk to him. Maybe some other time. Ugh, this whole Haruna thing is still bothering me. I force myself to stop thinking about Tatsuya somehow, but it still feels like he's always at the back of my mind. Some time passes and I'm standing next to Shinji when I see him make a very intricate-looking drink, one I had never seen before. My own curiosity wins out and I decide to go ahead and ask, "What is that?" It's one of Gallo's creations. He calls it the Salamander something. What? Something? Yeah, said he literally couldn't think of a name for it. He snaps his fingers and the drink suddenly lights up in the glass. It looks as if it's molten fire contained within. I can't help but gasp at it. Wow! I'm glad you like it. Shinji hands me the glass. Here, take this to table 5, please. I nod and make my way over to table 5. Out of the corner of my eye, I catch a glimpse of Tatsuya's blue hair. I pause to look at him neatly stacking cups behind the bar. It's been some time now, maybe I should go talk to him. Oh, serve the customer first! What I even say? Should I try asking Haruna? Asking about Haruna again? Haruna, just what is she to him? Calls him by his first name so casually, and she even hugged him. There's no way she is an ex-girlfriend of his. Or what else could she be? Does she still love him? Could he still love her? What was that night when he what was that night when he held me anyway? A feeling of intense freezing cold in my hand suddenly shocks me. So cold it burns. Ow! I instantly let go of and the glass I was holding falls to the floor. You had not even given the drink to the customer before you thought of all this. Insane. The glass and its contents are so frozen that they hit the ground like a rock. This is great. It's first day. Oh no. I look around hoping no one saw me drop it or freeze it. When I move to pick it up, someone's hand reaches out and it gets it before I can. Shinji looks at the solidly frozen drink in his hand, then at me. Follow me. With no choice, I follow quietly after him, feeling like there's a lead weight in my stomach. He leads me behind the bar counter, way in the back where no one else might hear us talk. Look, you've been distracted from the very start today. I wasn't going to say anything, but whatever it is that's going on between you and Tatsuya is clearly making you unfocused. What? How does he? I don't want to do this, but either you get it together or I'll have to assign you to another shift. One that Tatsuya doesn't have. Shoot. My cheeks burn with embarrassment. Right, focus. I need to focus. Shinji doesn't say anything else. He unfreezes the drink, which has now been ruined, pours it all out and sets about making a new one. I take that as my cue to get back to work. I can't believe I let myself get so distracted by him. Me neither. It doesn't take me long to get back into the groove, and things does seem to get better. Although I am overly aware of so much, I seem glancing Tatsuya's way. Hours had passed by the time I finished collecting the most recent dirty dishes and cleaning off the tables. I start walking towards the kitchen. That's when I see it. Tatsuya arguing with Shinji about something in hushed voices. I'm not close enough to catch even a glimpse of their argument, but when they glance at me I get the sneaky suspicion that it might very well be about me. Could it be Tatsuya was defending me? Nah, I don't believe it. I can't keep the little smile off my face as I go to the kitchen. After about another hour, things calm down almost to a standstill. So when the bell rings indicating a new customer, I only look to greet them. I feel my stomach drop when I see who it is. I knew it! I knew it! I knew it. I was gonna be like, when is this guy gonna come? Katsunosuke. His lips twist into a smirk when he sees me too. Katsu casually strolls up to me, standing just a little too close. I wasn't expecting to see you here, especially not in that uniform. Yes, well, I work here now. Is there anything you would like to order, sir? That's so cold, Chico. He steps closer, making, hello, I'm at work. You can't be doing this. You can't do this at all. I'm not into you. He steps closer, making the distance between us even smaller. I've been thinking about you a lot, you know? Too bad, not interested. Well, it's not the same for me. I told you, Katsuya, our relationship is business only. How long are you going to keep saying that? Clearly, it goes beyond that. You're delusional, you know that? I prefer the term persistent. All that matters is that I want to go on a date with you this weekend. This guy, he only cares about what he wants. No, thank you. I know that you're into some shady stuff, and I don't want to have to. I don't want to have anything to do with it. I see a spark of surprise and curiosity flashing in his turquoise eyes. He leans down to me, our faces now only inches apart. I try to back away, but he grabs my wrist firmly. Suddenly, Tatsunosuke feels like an entirely different person. And just what do you know about that? How could you know anything? You could find out in the next episode, Katsunosuke. But anyway, this is where we're gonna end today's episode. I hope you guys are enjoying it so far. I really want to know, who was this Haruna chick? No spoilers, please. I just really want to know who she is, though. Like, what's her relationship with Tatsu? And Tatsu and I are not doing so hot. And I believe he has 14 chapters or so. We're already on chapter 10. How much more can we have? I have no idea. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.